Good evening and welcome to KSN Local News at 10. The Freeman Health First Alert Doppler radar showing that the bulk of the precipitation has pushed now to the east of the area. Still seeing a little bit of rain in Berry, Lawrence, and Dade counties in southwest Missouri, and just a little bit of light precipitation in parts of McDonald, Newton, and Jasper counties. But we are not done with the rain just yet. In fact, we may be seeing more by tomorrow. By 8 o'clock, 25 degrees under cloudy skies, 32 by noon. We'll only climb to 35 by 6 o'clock. Our winds will be strong enough to make it feel much cooler than that throughout the day tomorrow. Then the next round of wintry weather arrives. Details on that in just a couple of moments. KSN Local News at 10 starts now.
In high definition, local, part of your community. This is KSN Local News at 10.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Shear. Lawmakers at the Kansas State Capitol are busy trying to pass bills before Thursday's turnaround deadline. That means bills not passed this week will likely not be taken up this session unless they come from one of the three exempt committees. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Courtney Ryan explains what bills were taken up today.
Members in both chambers spent the entire day on the floor voting on more than a dozen bills.
I'm already 18.
In the House of Representatives, it was this debate,
in my opinion, one of the most undemocratic things
lasting more than an hour over the qualifications needed to run for statewide offices like governor and secretary of state. Under the proposal, you'd have to be 18 years old.
Which also means that you have to be a resident of the state of Kansas. This bill does not take effect, though, until January 1st of 2019.
There were a number of amendments offered, like moving the age up to run for governor to 30. It was rejected, but the bill itself moves forward.
I don't think there's a chance that a teenager is actually going to win a governor's office, but what they're adding is their opinions and their views to the discussion.
In the Senate, members debated 15 bills. One of those bills requires people who try to influence contracting decisions in the executive branch or judicial branch to register as lobbyists.
It's important, I think, to be open and transparent when you're doing business with the executive branch.
Tuesday kicked off 3 days of debate in both chambers as lawmakers look to whittle down the list of bills they'll consider this session.
We're doing a lot of light lifting, house cleaning, rats and cats as they call it.
Some lawmakers say at this point they should be tackling the bigger issues.
I think we've wasted a lot of time in the first 6 weeks of basically doing nothing in terms of addressing what is the most important issue in our budget, and that's to adequately and fairly fund K-12 education.
The chambers will take final action on the bills voted on today tomorrow morning. At the Capitol, I'm Courtney Ryan.
Officers with the Joplin SWAT team may be able to respond to hostage situations across state lines if a proposed law is approved. So right now, if a suspect is barricaded in a building or even has a hostage in Cherokee County or Ottawa County, they'd have to rely on SWAT teams from much farther away. So House Bill 2062 would open the door to creating mutual aid agreements from agencies in Jasper or Newton counties to Cherokee, Ottawa, or Delaware counties.
It's not something that does happen every day. However, whenever there is that request, it would be nice where we could provide them some assistance. And on the flip side, too, there may be times where we need some assistance from them.
Now, right now, Joplin police have mutual aid agreements with 14 agencies in southwest Missouri. So if the proposed law passes, any future agreements would likely mirror those. 3 people are charged in connection with the robbery at Vintage Stock yesterday morning. 19-year-old Cameron Adams and 24-year-old David Green have been charged with burglary and are being held on a $50,000 bond. 22-year-old David Berry has also been charged in connection with the incident. Now, shortly after 12 a.m. Monday morning, Joplin police responded to a business alarm at Vintage Stock located at the North Park Mall. And as authorities arrived, 2 people were able to climb on the roof and escape authorities. Adams was arrested on scene when he was walking away from the business, and just 2 hours later, Green was arrested and later charged. Berry was apprehended much later and is being held on a $3,500 bond. A female's vehicle was found at the scene, causing her to be arrested, but she was later released. The Better Business Bureau is warning 4 state residents about a Texas-based moving company. The warning comes after the BBB received more than 60 calls regarding President Moving and Storage. In one case, a new Joplin resident moved with the company back in August and has still not received any of his belongings. 42 of the 60 complaints with the BBB have gone unanswered by the moving business.
One of the victims is here in Joplin, and he says that he's reached out multiple times. He waited a couple months before filing with us. He just filed in January a complaint about this business and says he's very concerned. He moved from California to here in Missouri. He wanted his things, and he's been living off of cardboard boxes and using that instead of furniture.
Garland adds, if this has happened to you, to contact the Better Business Bureau. A Pittsburgh high school student helps raise awareness in her school about the reality of violence in teen dating. Luciana Hernandez Garcia is a senior who asked Kurt and Christy Brungart to speak to the school. Now, the couple travels the nation telling the story of their daughter Jana, who was murdered 10 years ago by her ex-boyfriend. Their campaign is dedicated to reducing gender-based abuse, promoting healthy relationships, and creating a culture of respect amongst adolescents.
To me, like, the reason why I started the whole project was because it's an issue that not many people like to talk about, but I felt like we need to talk about, we need to be able to feel comfortable about talking it so that people can actually do stuff and not just be quiet.
The Brungarts say while more than 80% of adults don't realize that violence in teen relationships is an issue, 1 in 4 teens will be a victim of physical, emotional, verbal, or sexual abuse from their boyfriend or girlfriend. In light of the school shootings that have taken place in recent weeks and years, many kids are wondering how safe they are at school. And as a parent, what do you tell them if they ask you that question? We find out from KSN's Stuart Price.
Adults often tell their children that honesty is the best policy. And Sherry Bryant says that's just what parents should say if they get asked by their kids if something could happen at their school.
I think you have to be honest with your kids and tell them, like, there is this chance, but the schools have a lot of safety precautions in place. Most of the schools, as far as I know, in Joplin, you have to be buzzed into the building. And so I think being honest and letting them know that they have lots of safety measures.
Bryant is a therapist at Will's Place, a mental health center for kids that have been victims of trauma. Images of the most recent school shooting in Florida continue to be shown over and over again on national news outlets. If kids see the video often enough, depending upon their age, they may think the event is still going on even though it happened last week. She suggests stressing the emphasis area school districts place on safety.
They're going to have drills at school. They need to be prepared for that, and letting them know, like, this is why the doors are locked. It's for your safety, and that's the school's primary goal, is to keep you safe.
At what point should a parent or parents consider getting professional help for their child?
If it's interrupting daily life, can't go to school, can't go to sleep, won't part from a parent, then that's the time to really look at coming in and getting some treatment.
In Joplin, Stuart Price, KSN Local News.
And if you'd like more information about the services provided at Will's Place, we have a link on our website, 4stateshomepage.com. Joplin city leaders vote to give the Area Agency on Aging funding to help with the new senior center. The city granted the center $200,000 to be used for equipment for the multi-purpose room and the kitchen. The biggest expense for the center is the walk-in freezer, which will go under a bidding process to be purchased. Meanwhile, council also approved an agreement that finalizes a real estate exchange that will help the construction process for the Performing Arts Center. The exchange is for a parking lot located at 8th and Wall, owned by the Job Center, and the city will then trade a piece of land adjacent to the center and construct a new parking lot for the Job Center.
The state was looking to sell that facility there on the corner, and it really just brought to light that, you know, that property could exchange hands, and instead of having a friendly agreement with the parking lot, you know, we would put that at risk with the new owners.
Council also approved a contract to widen Tin Cup Creek, located next to Mahaska Avenue. This project will improve water quality and relocate some playground equipment. Crews will also complete some dirt work for a parking lot near the soon-to-be Mahaska Trail. Jackson Avenue will temporarily close during the project. Joplin's Community Development Office is holding another meeting about the city's 2018 action plan. The city wants residents to present comments on the action plan, which will be a guide for different community development projects. The meeting will be held on February 27th at 5 p.m. on the 5th floor of Joplin City Hall. An open public remark period will start during the meeting and then will last until the end of business hours on Thursday. Council will vote on the 2018 Action Plan on April 17th. So for more information on the 2018 Action Plan, you can call 417-624-0820. The extension is 539, or it can be examined online on the City of Joplin's website. We, of course, have provided that link for you on ours at 4stateshomepage.com. And now turning back to weather, Jeremiah Cook joins us with a look at our forecast. Some of us still seeing some rain at this hour.
Yeah, especially in southwest Missouri. And if you're not seeing rain and you'd like to see some more, you've got about 24 hours to wait. Details on that in just a couple of moments. First, though, let's take a quick look at our almanac for today. Officially, we hit our high at the Joplin Airport right around 8:30 this morning. An hour or two later than that, southeast of Joplin, and an hour or two before that, northwest.
In high definition, and your home of the Olympic Winter Games. This is KSN Local News with Jessica Shear and Eric Hinnett. We are KSN Local News. And now from the KSN Live First Alert Doppler Storm Center, weather with Jeremiah Cook.
Good evening and welcome back to KSN Local News at 10. Let's get started with our law firm of Bishop and Hayes weather photo of the day sent to us by Izzy and Piper Park. This picture taken with a drone over the city of Weir, Kansas. Izzy and Piper, thank you for sending that photo in. Thank you, Bishop and Hayes, for making these weather pictures possible. Let's take a quick look at our lows. A lot of these temperatures very close to what we're currently seeing at or just below the freezing mark, all the way down to the mid-20s in parts of southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. As for our highs, excuse me, we hit right along I-44. We hit these highs around 8:30 this morning. It was a little bit closer to 7 o'clock this morning when we saw these temperatures in Parsons, Chanute, and Pittsburgh, and a little bit closer to noon when we saw them in Monette, Grove, and Veneta. But all of us right now have dipped well down below these numbers. We'll look at that in a second. Outside right now, our tower camera brought to us by the Stables Casino in Miami, showing clouds and still just a little bit of light drizzle in parts of southwest Missouri. Thank you, Stables, for that live look outside, where we are seeing temperatures at the freezing mark in northeast Oklahoma and below it just about everywhere else. 27 in Joplin, 24 in Nevada and Chanute, 26 in Coffeyville, still sitting at 30 degrees in Monette, Missouri. The regional radar satellite image showing that band of precipitation that passed through the 4 states today. On the back edge of that, freezing rain, even a little bit of light snow just to our northeast. We didn't see a whole lot in the way of snow in the 4 states. What we did see was that layer of ice. So don't be surprised if you've been inside this evening, when you go out tomorrow and you find that layer of ice on your windshields, maybe plan a couple extra minutes to scrape your windows off. Over the last 48 hours, this has helped us make up a bit of a deficit that we've seen. We were about 4.5 to 5 inches below average since the 1st of December. We're now, we picked up about 1.5 inches out of this in Joplin, 1.25 inches in Pittsburgh, nearly 1.5 inches in Nevada. In northeast Oklahoma, we saw over 4 inches of rain in Grove, even more to that just to the west of Grove, Oklahoma. The Freeman Health First Alert Doppler radar showing that there are still a few showers in parts of southwest Missouri, particularly in Berry, Lawrence, and Cedar counties, as well as kind of that southeastern edge of McDonald County. We're seeing some rain in Benton County, Arkansas. For the most part, though, northeast Oklahoma and southeast Kansas, rain-free at the moment. That won't be lasting long, though. In fact, our future weather model wanting to bring another round of freezing rain in tomorrow afternoon right along the Missouri-Arkansas border. So south of I-44 looks like to be the primary area that we could see freezing precipitation tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow evening, though, we all get in on the act. From Chanute all the way down to Monette, Stockton, all the way down to Veneta, we will likely see some combination of snow and freezing rain in the 4 states. In fact, National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a winter weather advisory for tomorrow evening in response to that. The good news is we warm back up on Thursday. The next round of precipitation that moves through behind that one should fall in liquid form, and then we could see some rain off and on Friday as well. We'll talk about that with the KSN forecast from your local weather authority. 25 degrees tonight under cloudy skies. We still might see a little bit of a light wintry mix this evening in southwest Missouri for tomorrow. Plan on cloudy skies, 36 degrees, early wind chills as low as 14. In southeast Kansas, we'll see partly cloudy skies, about a 25% chance of a mix late in the afternoon, a mix of rain and freezing rain. In northeast Oklahoma, rain is certainly possible with our highs right around 39 degrees, and the extended forecast shows our best chances for precipitation come Wednesday night into Thursday, Thursday night into Friday, and maybe even Friday night into Saturday through about noon on Saturday. But take a look at those temperatures rising all the way to 62 on Saturday. We get plenty of sunshine back Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and a much-needed opportunity to dry out. With an active weather pattern setting up in the 4 states, now would be a great time to go ahead and download our mobile weather app if you haven't already done so. It's absolutely free and available for Apple and Android devices. You can find it in your app store. You get the latest weather forecast, live interactive Doppler radar, and local weather alerts. Very useful to have for this time of year.
Hoping that those temperatures tomorrow melt any ice that we have out there.
Hopefully so. And with that cold snap, it will be a very short-lived one. We'll be warming right back up by the end of the week.
Good news there, Jeremiah. Thanks so much. Coming up, hundreds of alumni come to Joplin to continue their education, plus a unique dinner helps local college students learn how to make a good first impression. That's next when KSN Local News at 10 returns. But first tonight, we would like to honor one of our 4 states' military heroes. Stanley Anderson served in the U.S. Air Force as an Airman Second Class. We salute you, Airman Anderson, and thank you for your service. And if you'd like to nominate a hero, go to the military salute portion of our website on 4stateshomepage.com. Welcome back. Some Pitt State students learned how to make a good first impression during dinner. Tonight, the university's Career Services Department held one of its etiquette dinners, that is. Many students came either for a class or with a student organization, and some of the many topics discussed were what to do with your napkin, when to eat, and where silverware is typically placed during a formal meal. This event is also a chance for students to practice these skills that they will need when interviewing during a professional dinner.
If one student comes up and says, hey, you know what, I remember when I was a student and you did, your office helped me with this, helped me with my resume, or I learned this at the etiquette dinner, it's all worthwhile.
And the etiquette dinner is held twice every semester, with the next one scheduled for March 1st. Hundreds of alumni travel to an area college this week. The annual Ozark Christian College Preaching and Teaching Convention is underway in Joplin. The event brings hundreds of OCC graduates back to campus for a few days of fellowship and continuing education on the topic of spreading the gospel.
We have over 15,000 alumni around the world, and so many of them love coming back to this campus because Joplin and Ozark really are home for them. It's a place where they were formed spiritually, and so it's a chance for us to encourage them in what they're doing.
The number of people on campus for this year's event is about 1,000. And now turning to sports, Eric Connect joins us in Pitt State versus Missouri Southern tonight in Joplin.
Yeah, the men's game as expected, high scoring, and the Pitt women going after their 9th straight win tonight, so we'll have those highlights coming up. Also high school hoops, Joplin at Pittsburgh, and Colgan visited Galena tonight. But first, here's the latest medal count from the Winter Olympic Games. The U.S. not pictured, tied for 5th though with 13 medals.
This portion of the Olympic medal count is sponsored by S&C Squared. And now sports with KSN Sports Director Eric Connect.
It was game on tonight in Joplin as Missouri Southern and Pitt State basketball renewed their rivalry. The Southern men coming in on a 6-game winning streak. Pitt State's Xavier Adams, a New Mexico transfer, had a big night. Back-to-back threes early as the Gorillas take a 4-point lead. Adams had 30 points tonight. This game, as expected, up-tempo. Elijah Clark for Southern. In transition, catch and shoot for 3. Then the little man, C.J. Carr, on the fast break, and he will finish with the left hand. Pitt still led by 2 at the half. Second half, back and forth we go. Dakota Jones in transition. pull-up three. Gorillas lead 76-74, but C.J. Carr has an answer. Top of the key for three. Lions back up one. C.J. had 28 points tonight. Elijah Clark had 17. And Southern wins 92-88. Jeff Boshy's team has reeled off 7 wins in a row after losing in Tahlequah by 30 last month.
After that loss at Northeastern State, it's we kind of turned the corner a little bit. I think it woke us up, and it's, as I told our guys at the end of the game, as a coaching staff, it makes you feel proud because the way we felt after that game, when we let our players know how we felt and how disappointed we were, it shows that it means something to them.
Women's game tonight. Pitt State riding an 8-game winning streak coming in. Both teams hot early on. Desiree Berge, first possession of the game, drills a three. Pitt also hitting from long range. Shelby Lopez from the corner. But Southern built a 9-point lead in the first quarter. Drew Clark, the deep three. Southern led 37-35 at the half. Third quarter, Pitt State starts to separate. Paige Imhoff on the give and go with Elena Flock for the layup. Then a little bit later, Michaela Burgess held in check early on, but the Webb City native, the step back three, she had 19 points. Shelby Lopez had 17 and make it 9 wins in a row for Pitt State. They win 73-62. Gorillas improved to 22-5 on the season.
I mean, we had a little meeting at the end of yesterday, and it's just like, this is the last couple games that the seniors get to play, and we're playing for just much more than just a win. We're playing for our girls, we're playing for our program, our school. We represent more than just, ourselves. So I think that says a lot about who we are, but also just says a lot that we never give up either. I mean, we were kind of down at the first quarter, and we just fight back.
In high school hoops, we had a Pittsburgh versus Joplin matchup tonight as well from Pittsburgh High. Joplin started fast in this one. Good ball movement to Evan Guillory. In the corner for three. Eagles led 7-2 just 3 minutes in, but back come the Dragons. Gavin Elkamil looking for an open man and finds senior Drew Rolfs on the wing. He hits a three. 10-9 Pittsburgh. Then Pittsburgh continues to push their lead in the first quarter. Off the miss, Marquis English rebounds, fires ahead to Chase Curtis, who will throw it down. Pittsburgh led 20-12 at the half. Marquis English had a big night for the Dragons, and Pittsburgh improves to 16-3 on the year. They beat Joplin 66-49. Galena Bulldogs hosting Colgan senior night in Galena. Great start, though, for the Panthers. Cal Marquardt leading the fast break. The assist to Aaron Higginbotham, who runs the floor and dunks it home. Colgan up 10-4. Second quarter, Bulldogs go to Garrett Hall, the all-time leading scorer in Galena history. Catch and shoot for three. Galena still down 17-10. Then end of the half, sophomore Logan Henderson, offensive rebound and the basket. Galena trailed 19-14 at the half, but Galena a big second half, and they hand Colgan just their second loss of the season, 53-45. Garrett Hall at 21. Colgan won the girls game 52-50, but the Galena girls still co-CNC champs for the first time in school history. Also, Arkansas lost at home to Kentucky 87-72, and Mizzou lost in overtime tonight to Ole Miss 90-87. Tomorrow we'll have the new regional rankings coming out. That is big for Missouri Southern and Pitt State. I think the Southern men should move up in those regional rankings, so we'll find out tomorrow.
Oh, looking forward to that then. Eric, thanks so much. We'll be right back. And finally this evening, today is National Love Your Pet Day, at least for another hour or so, and a local humane society is making it easier for people to take a pet home. So in honor of the day, the Carthage Humane Society is offering nearly 13 dogs this whole week that adoptees can bring into their approved home for no fee. The Society's director, Deborah Bell, feels every day should be Love Your Pet Day. However, she said today is a reminder for the relationship owners should have with their pets. And we definitely love our pets, Jeremiah.
Yes. Yeah, I've got, matter of fact, I would imagine my wife and kids will be asleep when I get home, but my cat Echo will be there to greet me the minute I walk in the door.
I have 2 animals, a cat and a dog, probably. Oh, there's a husky. Somebody go adopt the husky, please. I have a husky at home, and we got to save all the animals. Oh, so cute. Well, Jeremiah does have one last look at our forecast. More precipitation is on the way.
Yeah, and if you have outdoor pets, keep them in mind over the next few days. We're likely to see some freezing rain tomorrow, but temperatures rise by the end of the week.
All right, Jeremiah, thanks so much for the update. That is our news for now. More local news stories along with weather and sports can be found on 4stateshomepage.com. Have a great night. Thanks for staying up late with us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.